and where I need experts to come in and tell me what to do.
Sure.
And so, but I've been doing that since 2014. End of 2013 is when I started. Yeah.
So that was like before TikTok.
It was.
Yeah.
It was well before TikTok.
Before TikTok, after Vine.
I think, yeah, it was like at the tail end of Vine.
Okay.
Facebook was still hot. I don't think Instagram was even out yet. Or if it was in baby stages.
Out, but it was baby Instagram.
Yeah.
It was like people taking pictures of food.
Right. Yeah. Everybody was sharing their culinary.
Hashtag LOL, hashtag,
Yeah.
Throwback Thursday.
Before it was the main news source that was around the time.
You consider Instagram like a main news source?
Hell yeah. I'd say most people, well, I feel like
Twitter is like, or X, whatever. Is that where that's the thing where people drop it?
Yeah. I'd say just social media in general feels like a news source.
Sure.
And then I think where people fill in the gaps is YouTube.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where they're like, oh, well, I saw that clip. So what else is there? And then they go YouTube it and they get the full piece of whatever bubble they're supposed to live in that social media gives you.
Yep. It makes sense. So you 2014.
Feed, yeah.
You started in 2014.
Yep. Started in 2014. Had a lot of lucky things happen for me and just kept working at it. So the acting thing kind of started taking off. Shot my own short film. Started ADing and associate producing for a couple people up in North Carolina.
Okay.
Once the film industry started popping off down here, that's when I made the move.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was driving down here like every other week for in-person auditions or coming in for a role. And I was like, you know what? Why not try to make the move? And it was a great time for it. Moved down here in 2016, and we've been going ever since then. And, I'd say how I've gotten into the vertical space is...
So you didn't originally start shooting that content. It's evolved into that.
It's evolved into that, yes.
Okay. What was the original content you were shooting? It was...
So more short films, like your old school filmmaker, start off making short films and just start shooting sketch comedies.
Okay.
Do those things, and it progressed from there. Really, my main focus was always acting. That's where it all started. The producing kind of just fell into my lap.
Okay.
I AD'd for a couple people. They're like, hey, you kind of like know your stuff. You are good at logistics. You're good at this piece and that piece. And they were like, how about you come in as an associate producer for us and try this out? And I was like, okay, let's try it. And that's how it kind of fell into my lap. And, I'd say another thing that really helped me out was just being involved in the film community, like finding film festivals, 48-hour film festival, the short film festivals, any of them that you can like get involved with. You go out there and make connections and network, and that's turned into finding other filmmakers that do the same thing or need somebody like
build your network.
Yeah, and you build your network. And that's where it's progressed into now. I film verticals. Now I've kind of produced other films. And now we're here.
So talk to me about the transition from doing short films and 48-hour film festivals. I know are super crunched.
Yeah.
Right. You have not a lot of time. Got to have an idea. You get it out. You get a shot. Get it edited. Produce it. Now you're doing 1-minute verticals. Talk to me about that transition and how that has started and where that's gone.
So I'll say that all of those things, especially working on the indie side, where you don't have much budget, you don't have much time, you're always on a reduced crew, everybody's kind of just doing whatever they can to make the project happen.
Yep.
That all prepared me for the vertical space.
Really?
Yes. So my first vertical that I ever worked on I directed for it. So it was they're called Candy Jar now. Back then it was a different name, but that's neither here nor there. But the first one I ever did was I directed. The week before we started filming is when we started casting. And I think it was like 3 or 4 days before we started shooting was when I locked my cast. So,
wow.
Yeah. So thank God I didn't have to work on the logistics side of that to make that all come together, but it was still a crunch just to get the actors in place, right? And, we had one rehearsal. I did everything I could to like run through everything with them, with all my larger cast, like my major cast, and push through. And we got to shooting, and then, the rest is history. But you don't get much prep time. Like, we had one scout. We went in there, did our scout. Okay, everything looks good. And then we went in there and executed our plan. And all of them were kind of like that. Even when we split off I started producing with Cosmic, we get our script while we're in the middle of shooting the other one. So we have about a 2 to 3 week turnaround before we're back into production again.
Really?
Yeah.
On these verticals?
Yeah, on the verticals.
So you're cranking out one every 2 to 3 weeks?
Yes.
Are they the same topic, or like the different? Or is it like a season of something, or is it a completely different?
It can be a completely different genre. It can be a completely different. Everything can change. It just depends. And what you'll see is a lot of the same vertical dramas will kind of be in their own flow state. Like you'll see one come out with a hockey, and then 5 others come out with a hockey.
A hockey?
Like a hockey plot. Like it's all set around.
Plot.
Yeah, like the story setting is around a hockey rink or a hockey player.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Or they'll do one around football, or they'll do one that's like kind of a mafia boss feel. But they kind of go in these weird trends, and when one does it, it's like you can expect 6 other ones to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk to me about some of these titles. I always joke about with the verticals. It's like my billionaire's banker's daughter secretly cosplays as Bowser, or I don't know, something like wild and crazy. Where do they come up with these titles, and why do the titles slap? Or like I say slap because I'm not a vertical. I don't watch the verticals, but it's very soap opera in nature on how they make these titles, and they seem to convert.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the titles.
So I'll say one thing with the titles is I feel like now different companies run it differently, and I've worked for several different platforms at this point.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the platform, but with certain companies, they love to have those hot keywords in there. And it's
SEO rich, where they're just looking for as many SEO words in a 2-page title.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Very clickable. Automatically you read, oops, my best friend's dad impregnated me. You're gonna like click that to be like, what in the hell does this mean? And what the fuck is it gonna be? So automatically it cues your brain to be like, what is that?
So very, very polarizing.
Oh, yeah.
Like
absolutely. And it's
I feel like your IMDb then is wild.
Oh yeah. So mine I've been lucky because like most of the ones that I've worked on have not had crazy titles.
Okay, I was about to say, what is your wildest title?
I feel like I don't know. We'd have to have Nick pull it up.
Oh.
Jamie, pull up the IMDb. So yeah, there's a couple that I think were. I think the one that's craziest is probably Pregnant by a Hockey Star, or oh man, what is it? Pregnant by a Hockey Star? Yeah. Bell, Boell. So yeah, you'll see like there's not a lot of crazy ones on mine, but you go to like the vertical stars. We'll pull up a vertical star and we'll check out their IMDb, and you'll see some crazy stuff on theirs.
Oh my God. They're absolutely, the titles that I always see on these are so funny. They're absolutely wild.
Hey, that's me.
What? Wait, Will Trent?
Yeah.
Tulsa King?
Yep.
What were you working on those?
So I acted in those.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, you can find me popping up randomly in different things. It's always fun.
You say random things, but I'm looking at like Captain America, Brave New World, Creed.
Creed is a funny story, actually. Creed. Okay. So I got credited and everything, but
Cobra Kai.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, go back to Creed.
Yeah, so Creed. I get cast for the film, and everything's going normal. You know, they're sending me my paperwork, signing everything. Hey, this is probably your work day. Okay, cool. Everything's kosher. Come to the day before I'm supposed to shoot, check in with the AD. Hey, what's going on? Oh, hey, like everything's good. Don't have a call sheet for you. Don't have a time. There's some things going on, but we'll check in with you. I never hear from them. So at like 11 p.m., I'm like, hey, just checking in. Haven't heard anything for tomorrow's call time. What's going on? Didn't get an answer. So I was like, all right, I'll just wake up at like 5:30 in case they have an early call time, kind of figure things out. I finally get it. They're like, hey, by the way, they cut the roll, so you don't have to come in today. And I was like, what?
Okay.
So they actually cut the roll on the morning of shooting or the night before. Yeah, so I don't even appear in that, but they gave me the credit.
So you have a credit of being in Creed, but you didn't have to show up.
I never even showed up to work. Yeah, got invited to the premiere, like one of the only ones I've gotten.
You know what? You get to go to the premiere. Like that gets you a free ticket in.
I was like, oh, that's what this is like. Okay, cool. Wow. Yeah.
That is crazy. So I have a couple of questions for you. I want to get your takes on these. I got some rapid fire questions for you here.
All right.
I wanted to ask you. So are vertical films actually a new making format, or are they traditional movies chopped down for people with shorter attention spans?
Okay. So what I think, how I look at vertical films is that they are soap operas. They are guiding light. They are K-dramas, essentially put into an hour-long format. But the episodes, the way they build the episodes are 1 to 2 minutes long, with its own arc. So it has its own arc. Each episode has like its own arc. So the big thing is at the end of each episode, you have a cliffhanger. So that gets you to watch the next one. The biggest cliffhanger is at the end of like the 10th episode. And this changes between each script or each platform, but there's definitely a formula for it where they decide where the paywall is going to be. And at that paywall, you have to have your biggest cliffhanger.
Interesting. Is that delivered to you when you come up with the script, or is that we have the script and then you have to kind of figure that out?
It's been delivered with the script every time, as far as I know, except for maybe my first one that I ever did.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't have to really worry about it. You're just like, all right, I know that on page, and that we're going to leave this big cliffhanger and we have to set up for that.
Correct. It'll just be there an asterisk saying paywall. And that's for everybody to be cued in, you know, actors, the crew, to understand, hey, this is the big moment where we need to deliver.
Interesting. And then, so what's that? So what does that structure look? So you have 10 episodes that are free.
Yes.
And then they just show up on social media. They just push them on TikTok.
So used to be they would take all those free episodes and put them on social media.
Yeah.
So you would be able to view them for free, watch them, get interested in it, get to the paywall episode. It drops for more. Go to the app, download the app, and watch there. And that's where they'll set up their credits, their tokens, all that stuff to get them invested.
And how long is I don't want to say season, but is it 60? Is it an hour? So it's an hour movie put into 60 clips?
Yeah, essentially.
And then the first 10 minutes are free.
Correct.
And then anything else is going to cost you.
Yeah.
And then is it one paywall or is it multiple paywalls after that? I've heard it's like some they do like $1 an episode or something.
Yeah. So
some it's like, I don't know.
So usually there's one paywall to get you over that hump. Because once you pay for it, you're locked in. So you can either do weekly subscriptions, monthly subscriptions, yearly subscriptions, or you can buy tokens for each episode.
Tokens?
Yeah.
What in the AI? All right. Anyways.
So it's built like a pay to play. It's built like think of like Fortnite.
Okay.
Where you buy tokens, you can get a skin. You know what I mean? So essentially you're not spending real money anymore, you're spending credits.
Okay.
So your dollar
Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, so your $1.50 is going to buy 500 tokens. You're going to be like, "Oh, that's cool. Like that's not bad."
So like 40 tokens.
But you're going to burn through them. So to watch an entire vertical film, it used to be around $25.
Whoa. So to watch an entire vertical film of a season,
Yeah.
you'd spend $25.
So yeah,
That's a movie ticket.
it's exactly. It's more than you would pay on video on demand.
Yeah, like we pay what $12, $13 for Netflix,
And
I don't know. It's not more. It's like $18 or something.
Yeah, and the crazy part is you don't own the film. You know, like on Amazon, you used to pay $20 and you own the film.
Yes.
On these, you don't even own the film. It's just streaming, so it's a rental, essentially.
You pay $26 for a rental,
Essentially.
and this is a lucrative model that makes lots of money.
And so, if you get the target audience right, and people want to watch it, they want to see what happens next.
So who is the target audience?
So, target audience, from my understanding of what I was told, was women that are in their like 30s to 40s
Okay,
that are mostly stay-at-home moms.
that's the demographic.
That's the
That's a
demographic
sniper demographic.
that it hits. That's the most successful demographic that they've had.
Really,
And out of the Midwest is like, to make it even more specific.
out of the Midwest,
Yeah.
stay-at-home moms from the 30s to 40s,
Yeah.
and that's what's driving this business right now. That's crazy.
I'd say that was the start of it.
Oh,
So that was a metric that I got from a couple years back.
okay.
Okay. Now the metric has kind of shifted as the business model has expanded.
Okay.
So, and this is just me. I have not seen any metrics off of this recently.
It's what you're told. That's what you need to.
And the people that I've been meeting.
Yeah.
You know, where it's just like, oh, what do you do? I was like, I make movies and da da da. Oh, what kind? And it's like, we do verticals. And it's like, if you don't know what that is, sometimes I have to explain it. And sometimes it's like, oh yeah. I watch those all the time.
watch all the
love
18
them. And I'm like,
ones of.
oh shit. You're the
hockey
people.
impregnated my daughter's best friend and whatever. Yeah.
Or they'll be a huge fan of somebody I worked with that's a vertical star, and I'm like, oh no shit, okay. And then I'm like, they're relevant and they're making their moves and they have an audience and they have followers, and it's wild. It's wild to see how this industry has blown up over the past 3-4 years.
Are vertical stars content creators, or are content creators vertical stars, or are they different because they're actors
So
or actresses? What?
it's very interesting. Okay, so the very beginning of all this was like the Wild Wild West, right? And nobody really knew what to do with it or how to cast it or where to go. I mean, early on, we were struggling to find the right look or the right actors. And it came with a lot of stipulations, especially the bigger companies that already had essentially set their business model up and had their formulas already ready to go. They knew exactly what they wanted and how they wanted to make these things.
Okay.
So it came with its own formula about the looks of people, what their acting ability was at the time, and how they saw them playing these things out. And essentially, it came down to they wanted really pretty people. They didn't care if they had a following or no following. They just had to be beautiful.
Okay.
In their eyes. Like, so by the networks or the platforms.
Doing it by looks.
Exactly.
Wild.
And to the point where they had our casting directors getting the submissions. We'd go through the submissions, have our picks, and be like, yeah, but like, here's 7 guys, because guys were the hardest ones to find at the beginning.
Okay.
So it was like, here's 7 guys that are all hot. This is their Instagram handles. Reach out to them and see if they want to be in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So, but now...
So then you're having these people who had no acting talent and being like, I need you to do this thing, and then they would either botch it, but it doesn't matter because that's they just want.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, they want somebody pretty with saying dialogue that might be crazy because it's clickable, right? And that's where they make it clips and like turn it into a little buzz around that, because it's like, what the fuck did they just say?
Yeah.
Or how, a lot of the acting was super elevated and big for a reason. It made it clippable.
Okay.
And so that's kind of the thing that we were like working with at the very beginning. You know, now you have people that have gone out there and shown their ability or have gained a following, and they're popular within that space and have made a killing doing it and have done turned it into a career.
Interesting.
And are very successful at it.
Oh, at verticals.
Oh yeah,
So
in the
now
vertical
they're
space.
sought after to be in these verticals.
And now they are the A-list talent of the vertical space.
And so what's the timeline of that? So before it was Wild Wild West to now you have people who are commanding booking rates for these my hockey player
Yeah.
dad.
Pregnant with the hockey stars, baby.
Yeah, pregnant with the hockey stars, baby. Yeah. What? So how long in that time in between Wild Wild West to establish business model that now you have A-list talent that becomes a pick list of who you want in your verticals?
I'd say it took about a year.
A year? Just 12 months?
Dude, it went, everything has happened so fast in this space. It's been insane. And
months?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And some of them went faster than that. Like to where it was like, okay, because here's the thing. Some people, we've casted some people that were like unknowns at the very beginning, and then they do one with us, it hits, and then
Now they're like, I want more money.
exactly.
Yeah.
And well,
I'm a star now.
we've been very lucky with the people that we've worked with, usually want to come back and work with us. And so many times they'll come back and
Be chill.
we can be chill. We can work something out because we want to work together. We all enjoyed each other.
Yeah.
So we want to make a deal. But when they go outside of us, they can command bigger money and they can command other things. And the bigger you make your following, the more you can kind of command, you know? And so, but I've seen that happen with some of the guys that came out to us. They were unknown. Now they're out there working nonstop. Like just to even try to talk to them is hard, you know? And there's a couple that I've seen starting to push out into network stuff as well.
Really? So you've seen them move away from vertical into actual either linear or other type of social content?
Yeah, we had a guy, very talented actor. His name is Tristan Green. He just did a Netflix show, and yeah, so very very cool guy, very good actor. He just went out and did it, and he's kind of making his moves right now. So
That's interesting.
yeah, it's very interesting. There's also other guys that
Mouth. Oh no, wait. Is that from him? No, that's a sponsored ad.
yeah,
What is he in?
yeah, that's him. Oh, it doesn't have his picture up there. Go get your IMDb Pro, Tristan.
Yeah. What are you doing, man?
There, that's him now. Yeah. So interesting look. Feels like he could fit in Point Break type
could've been
show.
the
You know?
Odyssey.
Yeah, or the Odyssey.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's perfect for something like that. You know, some Greco-Roman
Exactly.
warrior.
And super nice guy, super talented. And he's just up in South Carolina, so he's just over in Charlotte. But I've seen a lot of people start their careers in this space, and they've been just building, and they're earning a living.
Really?
They're earning a living.
Making money.
That's
Hey,
part of the
you know what?
dream, though. Like to go act and make
35 single stay-at-home moms, making those salaries for these actors and actresses.
Well, that's the thing, and you can see this model kind of shifting for other platforms, even the studio ones like Netflix, right? Matt Damon and Ben Affleck talked about their last film of where they needed to have dialogue that kind of spoon-fed the audience some exposition.
Yeah.
We are constantly doing that all the time in the vertical drama space because that allows you to set your phone up here, listen to it, or have it playing on an iPad while you're doing other tedious housework and not miss a beat or hear something and be like, oh shit, let me go back and replay that because I want to see what that was. So it's very, I consider it breaking everything down Barney style. You can make it as simple as possible, easy to comprehend, easy to consume, and with some kind of, I can't remember the device, but like some kind of device that grabs your attention. So almost every scene will have that. Go watch some verticals. Don't get addicted. Do your best.
I'll go to episode 9, and then I got to go to the next one.
Just try a little bit of cocaine, bro.
See, that's what they say. Just try a little bit. Just one snort, man, and then before you know it, you're in rehab.
Just little.
I have a problem.
Yeah, just a little bump. Just
one key bump. Just one key bump. Just to take the edge off.
Exactly.
Right. Just to take the edge off.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're talking about.
Yeah, wasn't that, didn't Biggie Smalls talk about that? Oh, no, I think it's the other way. He said, don't if you're dealing, don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You got to be the crack dealer, not the crack user.
Yeah.
Question that I have, though, going back to what you're talking about in terms of the actors. Who's better equipped to lead vertical entertainment right now? Trained actors who understand performance or creators who already understand the audience?
Ooh, that's a toughie. I'd say the people that are most equipped are the people that can come in and put their minds together and blend in with each other and like be creative and explore those kinds of the avenues that they have in front of them. So there's content creators that understand marketing. They understand what they are putting out there. They understand how content works. So I feel like for them, they understand the business model of everything much more. The trained actors that come in there. So here's the thing. Verticals are also going through a transformation right now where I've been seeing at the very beginning, it was very elevated. Everybody was big. It was up here. It's like, how dare you slap Vivian, right? And now it's they're bringing it down in tone a little bit and grounding it a little more. It's becoming more like regular television.
Okay.
Right? But with a script that's reading wild. Right? So I think now.
What do you think that transition is?
So I think it's a collaboration between the filmmakers and the actors of being like, hey, we want to elevate this content. We want to turn this into something that we can all be proud of. And at the same time, people like to consume it. So
got you.
Yeah.
Instead of just going for the most wild, well, even though they are still wild things.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, if you have the time, which many times we don't, if you have the time, you can try to get a take of each, and try to fly it into the client of like, hey, this is what we want. It's like, do you have anything a little bigger? And we got to go back and do that. But it all depends. Everything, like I said, every client's different. There's some that will send a producer from the platform to come over and sit on set and kind of QA you while you're there.
Really?
Yeah. And then for our last client, they wanted to live stream. We live streamed everything that we were shooting. So they got to see A/B cam. They also got live audio feed the entire time so they could send us notes over the computer.
That you then take and then incorporate it.
Yeah, right there. They can watch in real time. They can give us a note. We can give it, and then they can watch it back.
Reshoot.
And we can reshoot.
That's crazy. And that's happening more?
So I'd say you either have one or the other. You either have people watching that live stream or you'll have a producer on set from the platform that's kind of like doing quality control.
What is the process of making those verticals? So one thing that I found interesting in talking to on our previous episode last week, we were talking to Jeslyn about how the studios are trying to prepare for the independent and the smaller content creators. I think a part of that conversation is vertical filmmaking. The vertical filmmaking needs are different than what was traditionally seen in large filmmaking. When you look at something like a Will Trent or a Captain America, right? The process for that is different. What are they looking for in these spaces and these productions now that ultimately is different than those bigger shows?
Well, it's interesting. Like I said, they're going through a transformation. So
okay, so let's talk about that too.
I'd say probably all of the biggest platforms that are out there right now are starting to switch more AI. And I mean like full AI production. No live actors, no crew. All AI generated.
generated.
Yes.
I think I sent you the clip of that, or say clip, the reel that I saw on that from another producer who was talking to me about how much they've just dove in deep to it. Do the audience? You feel like the audiences care? Do they?
So I have seen. So I keep up with some pages. I'm not like fully in the weeds of it all the time, but I try to do my due diligence to keep my thumb on the pulse and pay attention to what's happening and who some of these reviewers are. Yeah, there's a whole review.
There's a there are critics.
Yes, yes, yeah. So I'm telling you, it's got its own little space. It is its own little Hollywood that's happening there. And
I feel it's like tight knit and not really talked about. It's like everyone knows that the verticals are there, and then if you know the platforms, you know the platforms.
yeah,
But you don't know who's in the verticals until you talk to
correct.
people about it.
Yeah, yeah. But the funny thing is, like, you'll pass by it on your phone and not think twice about it. And some people will watch it and not think twice about it until you're like, oh yeah, that's literally made to watch on your phone. Like if you watched it, they got you. And but like I said, there's some that I think are well done and have been well made. Now I'm
The
biased
AI ones?
to it. No.
Oh, the verticals.
The regular verticals, yeah.
Oh,
The AI ones, I think
so you've done the key bump. You've done the.
I've done the key bump. Yeah. I tried it. Yeah. But on the AI side, what I've seen is most of the people that are supporters of the vertical platforms have been against the AI generated ones to the point where many of them have been saying, "Hey, I'm unsubscribing until you guys come back to live action."
So there has been some of that push. Then.
Yeah, there has been pushback on it, and how much the platforms are listening or how much they're paying attention is beyond me. That's outside my scope, but there is rumblings of people not being happy with it. But at the same time, the platforms are putting them out there. They're still hitting number one.
These AI,
the AI ones. So people are watching it somewhere. I never know if it's like a bot farm somewhere boosted their numbers or what's going on, but it's very interesting.
There's actually a question that I had around that, because if AI can write the script, generate the environment, create the performer, edit the final video, what part of the director's job is actually protected?
It's not. Because at the end of the day, the platform's making all those decisions. They want what they want. They want you to stick to the formula, right? Because it's all very formulaic. Like there's certain platforms you can't hold on a shot any more than 2 to 3 seconds.
That's a limitation that they put on you as a director.
As a director, as the editor, right? So the director's job is to get in there and get it all shot, make sure that you're doing your job and directing the actors, making sure that these emotional moments or emotional beats are hitting, that the story is being conveyed. And then the real notes really hit the editors the hardest. Like the editors get an enormous amount of notes for every project.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have a life. They live in a cave.
I was going to say, is there a lot of churn on these vertical editors then if they have so many limitations on what they can and can't do?
So they can play. It all depends on the platform. Certain platforms a lot less play, a lot more formulaic, and down to like, hey, we want this riser here, and we want some things that don't even make sense to a filmmaker. They'll be like, hey, we want the water drop to hit here. And you'll see it, like you watch some of these verticals, they'll be like, boop. And you're like, what the fuck was that? They're all just attention getters. Like something important's happening.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Are all of those platforms overseas or are they based here?
The ones that I've worked for have all been overseas. I know that there is at least one that has an office in Chicago, but I don't know if they're, completely based from here or based from overseas, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, but I do know there's some companies that are up and comers right now that have been building their own library and filming their own verticals. They're like startup companies that had like a little bit of a cash bond at the start, and they've been out there making content.
But are they the ones that are going and trying to do this AI push too, or
they have not? They're trying to do it live action.
It's all the overseas is, hey, we can do this with AI, make it cheaper, try to push it out.
Yeah, and it's a mixed bag. There's some that aren't that way, but everybody's trying to bring their ceiling down. They want to lower their overhead costs. With AI, it's about $35,000 per film.
Okay.
If you do it full AI, if you do it live action, you're anywhere from like 150 to 200 range.
So the question I have then is if they're pushing that hard on the verticals to make them more cost economic, the question I have then is if there's that hard of a push that you could do 6 to 7 times more, is the model economical? Is it actually generating the money that they needed to do, or is this more of I want to say a fake gold rush? Is it a more of a first mover situation where now that everyone's coming out with their own platform, now it's diluted to where they have to make it more affordable?
I think that is currently being answered now. I think we are seeing how that's all going to play out now. Because I think the space has gotten a lot more convoluted with everybody coming in and being like wanting to get their money too. And it feels like a cash grab, lower overhead costs, make a movie in 7 days, turn it out, get views.
And you just said 7 days.
Yeah.
You shoot, you edit, you're getting these cranked out in a week?
Yeah. Yep.
From nothing to a finished product.
So nothing to everything's in the can. So picture wrap in 7 days, and then the edit gets about 2 weeks, and then it's live in about a month after we start. Yeah.
So essentially 1 month.
Yeah.
You have 1 month. You don't have a movie, or I say movie. Is it a movie?
Yeah, I'd say they're films. They're about an hour to an hour and 20 most of the time.
1 month of not having a movie, you have a movie, and you're already on to the next movie by the time that one's...
We're on to the next one by the time the edit's happening. Like, usually, before we even wrapped on the project, we're already starting pre-production on the next one. So we're already starting to look at locations. We're already starting to look at actors.
Do you do all the locations, and is that where you travel all the time? Like you're always... Yeah. So where's the... Is it across the U.S. that you go and you do these?
So they're mostly here. So I'd say Atlanta. You're going to look at Atlanta, New York, L.A. is kind of where they were all happening. Kansas City also started.
Kansas
has a little bit of a hot spot. Yeah, Kansas City was producing them. Yeah.
Okay.
Or Kansas City, Missouri.
It's very Hallmark.
Yeah. So, right. But here's the thing: you can get your locations cheap because you fly your actors out to the Midwest. You put them up in a Airbnb or a hotel. Like, most of that overhead cost is going to be a little bit cheaper. Now, cheap enough to be advantageous to shoot there versus here, I don't know. But there are crews that exist out there that are doing it. And they're doing it well. They're doing it well enough to keep getting business back. So, but I'd say those are your main hubs is New York, Atlanta, LA. That's shifting as well. What it seems like is that they've kind of, restricted how many shoots that they're doing, because I think they're sucking them all back to LA, because most of their talent that they want to rehire over and over, their vertical A-listers, come from LA.
It's all going back to where it became.
Yeah.
So you have Hollywood, and now you have new vertical Hollywood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sharing the same space. And the crazy part about it is that as this medium has grown, we've seen more studio executives start to get in the game. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, there's executives that came from Fox Entertainment that teamed up with, I can't remember the name of the company. It's a Ukrainian vertical platform.
A Ukrainian vertical platform.
Yeah, and they were like leaned heavy into AI. But I'd say about a year and a half ago, they announced that they were going to partner up.
Okay.
So that exists. You see, Disney has rolled one into their pilot program, like one of the vertical platforms. I've also heard of like that some of the studios have been shooting. I don't know if I can say that actually. I should not say that.
Okay.
Cut that part. But
Well,
things
we're
are changing.
live and we're live streaming, so just don't say it, and we're just gonna keep. We'll keep it moving.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'll go and make a pivot then. As take my breath away. Is this actually one of the platforms? I'm her most dangerous obsession.
Oh yeah. Who are you looking at right now?
Sold to the possessive mafia boss.
This is My Drama.
My Drama. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And then the one that I worked for pretty exclusively was Drama Pops, and they're a Turkish company. They do great stuff, but I think they're
So it's not even a Korean, because it used to be. It was like I thought this was like a Korean drama, but it doesn't sound like any of those companies that you talked about are in Korea.
So there's one that I know of, and it's called Shit. What the hell is the name of that one?
It's called Shit.
Shit. What the hell is that name?
That sounds like a vertical title. Shit, what the hell is that name?
I can't remember the name of it for some reason right now. But so the originators of this, as far as I understand, were Chinese companies, and they are based off of like Asian dramas. So the funny thing is, early on when we started working for some of these companies, the scripts were like Chinese in nature, and so they were coming from Chinese script writers. So some of it culturally didn't make sense, when it first came over. It was like, you'd have one of the girls do something offensive and then beg for forgiveness, where they drop down to their knees and start slapping themselves and bowing to whoever it is. Like, please forgive me, please forgive me.
It's very cultural.
Yes, very different. And I was like, this does not play here, but okay.
Have you found that it's difficult as these if these verticals are from foreign countries where they have different cultural norms, but they're creating content for the Americas? Was there a learning curve?
For sure. I'd say so. The dialogue would be interesting, and I think things got lost in translation between like what they were writing and then how it got translated to us. And we can make small adjustments on those. But they're also very specific on certain devices remaining the same, like the bowing or the slapping themselves. They want to keep it.
And the slapping themselves.
Yes. Well, the slapping themselves is a clippable piece.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You put it out there, and it's like, what the hell is going on?
Sure.
And so they like to keep those kind of pieces in there. I think we've gone away from it. There's been more, because as these actors grow, they can also push back on certain things like,
I'm not doing this.
Yes, I'm not doing this. I'm not comfortable with this. And they have some power, and they have power in that. You're 3 days into a shoot, and then the platform says, hey, by the way, we want to add this intimacy scene. And I know we've never talked about it, but like, here it is. And the actors can now be like, hell no, I'm not doing that. Like X, Y, and Z. This is a workaround. And then many times the platform has to do it, So they have power.
Okay.
They have power. It just depends. It depends on the platforms.
That is fair. Are they becoming better actors, or are the audiences simply lowering their expectations for what good looks like?
I think it's grown into a place where the actors have been allowed to be better.
Been allowed to be better.
Yeah, so it's not just, hey, just scream, it's all in bold letters and it has an exclamation point, so scream it. I think they've been given the ability to bring their own interpretations into it and play with the dialogue, play with their character a little bit, and ground their performances. And most of them want that. Most of the actors that I've worked with want to be an actor. They want
their own.
They want to make it their own. They love the craft. They're wanting to grow in that craft. They want to be better at it. They want to master it. So many of them are constantly trying to get better. And what better way to do that than be on a set, getting your ass kicked with minimum 12-hour days in front of a crew, memorizing, like I said, we casted that one 3 days before we started shooting. So nobody even knew they had the part until 3 days before. And now you have a 90-page script to be off book for in 3 days, right? And we're at least doing anywhere from 10 to my biggest day was 18 pages in one day.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pages.
And you're doing anywhere, like my shortest day has been 12 hour, 11 and a half, 11 to 11 and a half. My longest day has been an 18-hour day.
At that point, you just gasp.
Yeah.
Page, you're like, or 18th page, you're like.
Or 16-hour day filming, 18 load in, load out, right? So when you're an actor, it's like that is acting boot camp. You're going in there, you have an entire script to get off book, and you're rushing to get it done. Oh, yeah, by the way, you need to have connection with this other person. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're going to be intimate with them. Oh, yeah, by the way, you got these stunts to do. And so,
Are there a lot of stunts?
Oh, yeah. So it's grown. It didn't start that way. And I don't think they were very keen on making it super stunty, but it's grown. It's grown into a place where it's like, we want that and we want it at a high level. So everything is, we want it Netflix quality, but we want it in the shortest time span that you can possibly do it.
Interesting. Talk to me a little bit about, I want to save a little bit of time here. I know we're running out of time, but I want to talk a little bit about hooks. So obviously in social media and very much with the way TikTok, verticals, more people consuming vertical content than they ever have. I think an argument could be made that the vertical filmmaking scene was leading the charge in that on what a hook is. Has that changed over time for you, or what are the learnings that we can take from vertical filmmaking into how we're making content today and how you make content that could apply to other creators?
So I'd almost say that the way they design their hooks, right? You have about 3 minutes to make your mark, right? Anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes to make your mark, get somebody invested there. So think of them all as like short films where you have 1 to 3 minutes to get somebody invested in this story and leave them with a cliffhanger. And that has been the most successful way into getting people interested. Number one, hook them in, get them interested, leave them hanging, right?
Yeah.
Then the next part, I think, the other piece of that equation is have somebody recognizable that the crowd enjoys. And that's, each personality is going to be different. But the ones that have been engaging with their community have really dove into it and have been the ones that have really grown and made their mark.
Do you feel so? Me scrolling verticals, I don't really get to choose what I see in order as just delivered to me.
Yeah.
Are a lot of the content that then you're building, even for those 10 episodes, is it meant to be hopped in at any one of those 10 episodes, or do you need to hit it in chronological order, or do you have the 10 episodes and then they're like, all right, well, we're going to post one clip and then a day later we're going to post another clip so that people are served them? How does that process work?
So usually,
what's the science? What's the thing?
So usually they drop the full 10, like the pre-paywall scenes. They drop all those all at once.
Okay.
Because the big ticket item is getting you to go to the platform and subscribe.
Yeah.
And so those first 10 episodes are the most important episodes for us as a production service company to execute, because that is going to be what gets everybody interested. So, many times when you're talking like a regular feature film, like you get to the climax of the movie, or like the part where they fall in love, like this very important moment. It goes by moment to moment. Ours is the first 10 episodes.
Okay.
Get them invested, get them hooked, get them interested, and then make them want to watch the rest of the movie. Because by that time, once they're invested, they're going to go along for the ride.
Has that made you change how you've effectively has it changed your perspective on how you make long form movies with this new age format in mind?
I'll say that it does make me think more about, okay, where can we leave this to keep people wanting more? But that is something that they play on already in or television,
Yeah.
leaving you on the cliffhanger right before the commercial break. What's going to keep you wanting to sit there for 10 minutes? You've already been
designing it. It's just now sooner, way sooner.
Yeah.
And there's more of them.
Exactly. It's already been there. It's always been there. It's always been there as a marketing tool to leave you wanting more in anything, in any consumerism piece of this earth. It's all designed to make you want more.
So I think that's a great point to land on. I do want to go. We're going to try a new segment that we've prepared, where taking your vertical mind's eye. I actually am bringing a previous guest's content in here that we had. Brody, who he's a vertical content filmmaker, and he is doing more stuff in the horror realm now. We both know Brody.
Yeah,
he's a good friend. But I wanted to get your perspective on Brody's clips, on what you would tweak or change so that it would work more for the dramas that you shoot.
Okay.
Right? So I think we have a couple here prepared. Nick has them already ready, locked and loaded. Yeah?
We're rocking and rolling.
We're rolling.
I heard you got your report card today.
Let mommy see it! Oh, honey, I see enough.
You're smarter than that. Mommy's not mad, sweetie. Mommy's not mad, Kevin. Mommy's just disappointed.
That's it. That's the clip. I struggle with horror. I don't like horror.
You don't? Are you scared? Do you need a hug?
I don't need a hug. I'm not. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's when I go watch films, it is not the feeling that I want to resonate with when I'm going to see a film for like entertainment purposes. Life is already scary enough.
I'm so curious. Did you watch Obsession?
I haven't.
Oh.
My wife and Yell has been telling me, she's like, we want to go watch Obsession. We should watch Obsession. We should watch Obsession. And I'm like, no. Like, Gone Girl freaked me out. Like, I feel that Obsession is. So you're shaking your head, but I'm like, from what people told me, it's like that drama horror film thing. I can't. I'm okay.
Well, I'd say there's a couple reasons to watch it. I think it was done on a smaller budget, not minuscule or anything,
yes,
but it was done on a smaller budget.
To independent creators.
Absolutely. And I've been watching those guys since they had their sketch comedy channel for years. And so, and watching them grow just on their sketch comedy channel, I was like, holy shit, they've really upped their production value and their production design, like in all ways.
Yep.
And I was like, they need to just make a film. And here we are, right? They're super talented. They know what they're doing. They know how to tell a story. And I don't want to get lost on Brody here, but he reminds me of them,
Okay.
right? Where I've also seen his channel and his production value grow and change to where it was almost sketches, and now he's got like little short stories that are happening.
Yep.
Right. So I see this, this ability for content creators to really get out there and make their voices heard, get their stories out there, and create something unique. And I think that's something that we've all been starving for in the creative space. From the people that work on it to the people that consume it, we've been all looking for something that's unique and different, because 20 years, as much as everybody loves it, 20 years of like Marvel movies and shows that
That's going to warn us out.
has worn everybody out of like, okay, cool, like this is IP, but like awesome, like what's a new story that I could see? And that's something that Obsession has brought out, right? And Backrooms and all these other places that that come out of the woodwork, and it's like they're successful.
Yeah.
That's great for independent creators.
Sure.
Even though it might be somewhat of a marketing scheme, who knows of like, how that all really played out. But I like to hope that it was real independent creators finding an avenue and taking advantage of it.
So talk to me about, clip was good.
Yeah.
Like good content, good story, kind of wraps it in a bow. When you're doing your verticals now, taking kind of this premise, what would be the hook, or are there any changes that you would do when you're thinking about these verticals and you're like, all right, well, we have these characters down, but we got to stretch it out for like an hour?
Yeah. So the only thing I would say with his clip or his reel that he made here is at the end, it doesn't leave us hanging.
Yeah.
It wraps it up in a bow. And that's great for like when you get through your whole film, to wrap it all up and be like, leave something for everybody to sit on. And I'd feel like that's the only thing that makes it hard to be like, okay, I want to see what happens next. Because if you hook them with that curiosity, it's very strong. It's a very strong feeling of like, what the fuck's going to happen next?
Do you do any horror? So when you on any of these, are there any of them are in the horror genre?
We have not. So I have not done one. They have started to come out. So they've expanded in so many different genres lately. I saw that they did a Western about a few, like 6 months ago or so. I've seen them start to do a little bit more horror avenue. I saw them do not a musical, but more of a voice singing centered one. There's another one. The first one that I ever worked for had All American Rejects guest star on theirs. So like things have been changing. They're trying different things to stay relevant.
Yeah.
And beat out the competition.
Okay.
But there is a space for new vertical creators to come in and make their own way.
Interesting. Because that was where it was one thing in that vertical that in his this short that we watched, that he held on that shot there for like 5 to 8 seconds. And then I was thinking in my mind, well, you told me that
you cut away,
sit on a shot for 2 to 3 seconds.
Yep.
But for horror, and something that Brody talked about when he was here like 2 weeks ago, was about the discussion of tension, especially in horror. You don't want to over tense someone.
Yeah.
But you don't want to under tense them either.
Yeah.
And with horror, very much plays around with the idea of holding a shot to see that what happens next.
Right.
But it seems like in the verticals, you're not allowed to do that.
Correct. In the vertical, well, and you got to think about the genre that we're usually operating in, and it's romance driven. Like all of them are romance driven. No matter what the genre says it is, it's all romance driven. So at the end of the day, we want to see the lead woman fall in love with the lead man, have a happy ending.
Yeah.
Regardless of how it started.
Oh, so it's like Hallmark all the way.
Absolutely. Buried under a lot of other stuff, you know? Because you're definitely gonna have fights. There's gonna be, and there's a lot of things that are happening with those followings, those audiences that exist right now of people wanting change. They don't want the lead girl to be drugged for the first intimate scene that they have with the lead male. That was almost a trope every time, you know, or to be abused or, you know, bullied the entire film. Like that's usually the tropes that exist in this space, that a lot of actors and a lot of the audience are fighting back against.
Well, I'm glad that we're trying to reach some societal norms.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we got one more clip, and then I want to make sure we get through this, and then we got to wrap it up for today.
Okay. Another thing I want to say about Brody.
Yeah.
So, good things that he does. He has instantly recognizable characters from the world that he's already built that already suck you into the narrative, and you already
You don't have to like develop.
Yeah, they're already understandable. They're already relatable. You already know. The skit in general is built around a relatable experience most of us have had. I mean, I was not a good student, so like taking my shitty report card to my parents is a relatable thing.
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Oh fuck," right? And everybody can relate to that thing of like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed," which is worse. Worse than just them like beating you for one time, you know. I don't know if that's acceptable either.
So you the disappointment was worse than the beating.
Yeah. Or the punishment, whatever. We probably should say punishment, so I don't just sound like I have abusive parents. But you know, it's out there now. Fuck it.
Cool.
They're not abusive, by the way.
Let's make sure that's one of the clips.
You just ignore our text thread.
They wigged you out? Oh, that was it? Oh, wow.
That's hilarious. So I also feel like he does. That's a good one. That leaves you on a cliffhanger, minus the obituary there.
Rip.
You know, I think there's things that it all depends, right? Like, because at the end of the day, these are like very good reels that he's playing with and putting out there. Like, you know, I think he's setting up really good devices. We're setting up suspense, and then also wigging people out with the movement in the background, having things placed. Like that was a really good job. The cinematography is done well. The lighting's done well enough to where you have that background blend in, and then when something moves, you're like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
So I think they're like all well done, and it all depends on like what space he's trying to go into. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and that's the thing with like the vertical platform. Even though they have all these rules, I think that applies to like the romance drama side of it. You know, keeping things moving, keeping the action, so we can get to the story between the two characters falling in love. If we were focusing on like a horror vertical, so that's the other thing, is that I think the horror genre in the vertical space would have to be more like What is that movie that has the clown in it? The new
It?
No. The one, the slasher movie. It came from indie studio. It blew up. Now it's got a whole following. It's like a clown horror movie, and yeah,
With the one that's in the gutter with the balloon?
no,
Oh.
he's got black eyes and a white face.
Black eyes.
Yeah. Terrifier.
I was like, I don't know
Yes.
nothing about horror.
Have you seen that at all?
I know nothing about horror.
Okay, so I feel like it'd be more along that line where it's like there's a girl essentially being chased by an evil thing, and it's a cut 'em up slasher movie. So I think slasher would probably work with their formula more
With vertical. Okay.
in the vertical space.
Because then you go and you have this moment where you have a clash and then they escape and then it's the next thing. It's
Yeah.
almost like, oh man, what was the movie? God, what was the one where you have a group of people and then something unfortunate would happen to them, like, and one of them would die,
Yeah.
like every 10 minutes or so?
Right.
Not paranormal. What is the movie called?
There was a house on Hill.
It's the one that people like. They put memes out about it where like someone's driving behind a
Final Destination.
Final Destination. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very Final Destination where you have something bad happens every 5 or 10 minutes that kills one person.
Yep.
And then you know that they're slowly all going to get like lopped off. I feel that would be a good conversion of a vertical.
I agree. And you throw a love story in there and like you got all the elements.
Love story, and then she died.
Yeah, so I'm saying like you throw all that in there, or you have them escape, that fits right into their formula. And I think that'd be the way that you'd have to go. I think a suspense thriller would not appease them on the platform level.
Okay.
But like, I love those. I love suspense. I love the thrillers. I love the ones that are going to keep you guessing and then hit you with some kind of scare.
Okay.
Like Insidious is one of my favorite scary movies. Yeah.
Okay. I can't. I'm not. I can't talk about scary as I don't have it. But we're getting signals to wrap it up for today. We really appreciate you on the show. But I have a couple questions, mainly around what we talked about. Obviously, what do traditional filmmakers fundamentally misunderstand about how the next generation will consume stories?
I think the biggest thing or biggest mistake that you can make is to dismiss a trend without exploring it first. Because I think if you do that, you will keep yourself from understanding where the new generation is coming from. So it only limits you to not explore some new avenue or new medium that content's being consumed. And I even think that way with the AI. I'm not all about just AI generate everything. Like, I don't want it to just take all of our jobs and produce and generate whatever the hell we tell it to. Yeah. But I do think it's worth exploring and seeing how you can utilize it as a tool, as a smart way to approach it, as well as it'd be understanding your competition if you are a filmmaker, right? Like, what is it capable of? What is it not capable of? What is it good at, not good at? And how do I fit in this puzzle?
So on that point, 5 years from now, what will seem more outdated? Watching a 2-hour movie horizontally, listening to a full podcast, or believing that human actors need to be on screen at all?
I'd say, I think the biggest thing that's in danger right now is theatrical films. Honestly. Like 2-hour theatrical films is where it's hard. Thank God there's directors and studios that are willing to take chances.
Yeah, like Obsessions.
The Odyssey, right?
Sure. I'd also go even Tom Cruise he's still.
I was just gonna say
he's trying to carry the movie industry on his back because I think who was it? It wasn't Ben Affleck. It was someone else who was like, It's not on you guys for changing the way you consume. It's on us as filmmakers to create stories that you want to go into theaters to go see.
Yes. Absolutely. I do think that's the responsibility we take on as creatives is what's a story worth telling and how do I get people to want to watch it?
That needs to be seen on a big screen.
Correct. Yeah. And I think what we see is like the gimmicks don't work.
Well, we're a demise of our own success in which that we had so many of the Marvels, so many of the superheroes, so many of those big films. It's almost like a pandemic. When the pandemic hit and everyone got Zoom fatigue, it's almost the same thing where they got big movie fatigue.
Absolutely.
You have to go see this in the theater.
Yeah.
And you can only do so many of the Marvel Avengers coming back.
And it becomes predictable.
Yeah.
And we like predictability in our lives when it comes to like controlling everyday life, but we don't like predictability when we're watching a movie. Right? We want to be thrown. We want to be on that ride. We want to escape our everyday life and get involved in something that we wish we could do or something that we've experienced maybe that brings us back to it. You know, that's what stories are. Stories are there to be an escape or to inspire or to teach a lesson, you know, and I think that gets lost on a lot of people or a lot of these huge conglomerates that are just trying to push big action movies to get the biggest amount of reward off of it. I had a long discussion about this with one of my buddies the other night. And essentially, you know, getting back to the roots of good storytelling is where we should always be aiming to strive towards. You know, that's why people love Scorsese. That's why, you know, people love Christopher Nolan. Like, they tell great stories. Curry Barker's now out there, like, as somebody who can tell a great story. And I think when it comes to, like, big action movies, like Tom Cruise, I think brought people back into the theaters with the second Top Gun. He did great on it.
He did it.
Like, I wanted to go watch that on IMAX, especially after, on the filmmaking side, learning the specialized cameras that they had, how they had everybody go through flight school, how they, you know, all the extra steps they took to make it realistic, to make sure they captured it in a certain way. Yes. Yeah. It was like, okay, I love this. Let's go try it. You know, I have to go watch this at least one time. Everything Everywhere All at Once was another one that I had to go see in theaters, you know, because they don't all call to me that way. It's just like,
I feel like my wife brought me Sinners.
Sinners was great in theaters. Yes. Another one where you're just like, this was made for watching on the big screen. And, you know, and I'm glad I did. You know, there's nothing worse than getting out of one and being like, I could watch that at home.
And I agree. And with that, I think we're at the end of the episode.
Great.
Alan, really appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for having you. Where can people find your socials or what you're working on next? Where can they? So
I'm on Instagram at Scout6OutTV. That's Scout, the number 6, Out TV. I rarely post on there, but when I do sometimes. Or you can keep up with me on IMDb. You know, they do better at posting all my new stuff on there. So, and then just out and about. You see me somewhere, holla at me.
Sounds like a plan. Alan, really appreciate your time. That's it for this week's episode. We'll see you guys next week. I'm Cody. It's RoS Show Podcast. We'll see you on the next one.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you.